Yes. That movie was so good!
That movie was so
Holy
goddamn good.
shit, I stand corrected!
Oh my god.
Oh, Hardcore Henry has got to be one of the best action films I have seen in a while.
Wherever.
It is amazing. It has possibly the most creative, like, violence I've seen in any film in a long, long time.
Not just the creative violence, but it was just amazing. It was so cool.
Yeah, like the story, meh. It boiled down to Jedi versus Cyborg. Oddly enough,
Why not?
You really, really simplify it.
But
Oh
man, that movie was
good.
The one word that came to my mind when I was thinking about how I'm going to...
Was it baller?
Yep, baller is the exact word that I was
Oh my
thinking.
god, that's serious, awesome.
Baller is the one word that we can use to quickly describe that movie.
You heard it here first, folks. Hardcore Henry is,
Baller.
quote, baller.
Yep. Oh, man.
Oh, but... yeah, quick review, like personal opinions before we get to the actual deal.
Baller. Done.
Baller. Well, that was Quintin's review. Mine is like, it's good. You need to see it. Just if you're like really squeamish, like if you can handle Deadpool, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. It's like a step up from Deadpool. If you can't handle Deadpool, maybe not for you.
Yeah, no. If you don't like violence, don't go see it.
But if you just revel in thoughtless violence, just fucking
just
go
see it.
nuts. Just see it. Now, before we go into like the whole spoilerish review, we have a few quick announcements. Not next week's, but the next
2 week show 2 weeks from now.
Yes, the next episode is going to be over Army of Darkness.
And it's going to have our first special guest.
Yes, it's going to have our first special guest. Should we say that now, or
we'll just do it then.
We'll do it later. The special guest knows. He's listening right now. You're a cool special guest. We like you.
Yeah.
But the next showing is Army of Darkness. Quintin and mine's one of our favorite movies ever.
It is one of our favorite movies of all time.
It's amazing. We won't go much else just to keep things quiet. But yeah, that was the quick review and that was the announcement.
Okay.
All right, so now you got 5 seconds until we spoil the fuck out of Hardcore Henry. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I have to say, when that guy got his testicles crushed,
Just immediately.
that scared the shit out of me.
I could tell,
that
dude.
happened, and I just went, "Oh my god!"
Oh, but I think that was like a really clever start to the movie because it.
That wasn't the start. That was like almost at the end.
No, I'm saying like overall, like the movie's start was a clever start.
Yeah.
Because it like leads you in, like you're wondering like what the fuck is going on with the camera, and then you realize his eyeball is out of sync with the other one. So it like I had no idea it was about a cyborg going in. I thought it was about some kind of secret agent. Yeah. But going in, the cyborg part, cyborg super soldier, just makes so much more sense.
Going in, I hadn't seen any of the trailers, but
all I know is like,
man.
I think you showed. No, I don't think you showed me it, Joe. You just told me it was like a first-person deal.
Yeah, I said we should go watch it because why not?
Yeah. And oh boy, did that pay off.
Yeah.
That was an experience.
That was insane. I just like to point out that I did really actually like the acting from the guy who played Jimmy.
Oh yeah, it was
because he was actually one of my favorite actors when I first started getting into movies, because the movie District 9 came out like when I was.
He was in District 9.
He was the main character in District 9.
Really?
Yep.
Jimmy was the main character from District 9.
The guy who played Jimmy was the main character from
Prawns.
But I really liked him as an actor, and he hasn't really done anything good since then. He was in Elysium, which wasn't really that good.
Oh yeah.
Chappie, which wasn't really that good. The A-Team remake.
Oh yeah, that one wasn't that good.
But I'm happy that he's in something that I can support again, and he really showed a range in that movie, playing every single type of stereotype that he could.
Because the character in that movie, it was a really clever way. I was like, how the fuck does this guy keep dying and coming back? And they explained it. I wouldn't say pretty well, but they give a good explanation. It's like, oh yeah, he's controlling these people. And that trippy ass I've got you under my skin sequence.
That was amazing.
surprisingly, there was a lot of really good musical moments.
Yeah.
Like the double shot of adrenaline, "Don't Stop Me Now" action.
Also,
montage.
in addition to musical, oh my god, the soundtrack for that movie was the shit.
It was so
Oh
good.
my god. Oh wow. It was amazing. Just the way that they the electronic music that they used was perfect for the movie that they made.
I mean, it's not an exact comparison, but I got a very Hotline Miami vibe, and I was digging it.
Yeah.
So much.
Oh yeah.
Something about like super violence and techno music that is just amazing. Oh, and this part may be a little extra long because we're heading to a restaurant now, not heading straight back home. So you guys get bonus content if you're listening to part B and don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
Or listening to this weeks after the fact after watching episode 2.
Yeah.
2A. I keep forgetting about that weird format thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm seriously just welling in how good that movie actually was. Because I walked in, I was like, okay, it's not good. It's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be a good action movie. But it was like, it was an amazing action movie. It was so good.
And plus, like I thought the first person thing would have been super gimmicky, and it kind of is, but it works.
It works.
It's a good gimmick.
Yep.
And it didn't like distract at all. Like I thought it would be like, oh, Cloverfield shaky cam sort of deal.
Yeah.
No, it was still good cinematography.
Yeah.
Oh. And like the parts where like his eyeballs glitched out, it showed that time skipped a little bit.
In addition to that, I'd just like to say that may be the greatest villain death I've ever seen in any movie in my entire life.
He decapitated the top of his head with his own eyeball.
And then his body fell into a goddamn helicopter blade.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
Like I said, it's creative, and I would have never thought about that.
Oh man.
Oh. So cool. And then the part where fucking Jimmy, it was Jimmy, where Jimmy like went into his punk body and just went ape shit on the dudes and the mans. It's like, oh, I'll be back in a moment. Just give me a second. And it's just, he's just going crazy.
Yeah.
Oh. Or the part where Jimmy's in the strip club and he's just doing massive amounts of coke.
I think that was my favorite version of him. Was just him doing tons of cocaine and then getting real mad and walking out and shooting people in his underwear.
He had like the fucking SMG in one hand and the revolver in the other, and it's just going nuts.
Oh man.
Oh. I don't think I even needed that Red Bull. That movie woke me up.
That movie was enough. Oh man. Is there anything more we can actually say about the movie?
Besides how fucking baller it was? I don't think so.
It was so baller, though.
That's literally the only word that comes to mind. Besides creatively violent.
Creatively violent is too sophisticated for that damn movie. It was baller. Let's leave it at that.
I will say the story was like surprisingly better than I thought. I was just been like, oh, dude just goes fucking ape shit and kills a bunch of people. Like, but he had kind of a reason. He was trying to discover his past.
Yeah.
And then I liked how the beginning scene tied in with the rest of the movie. How literally the first open line is, "You are a pussy."
Yep. One thing I do have to say about the movie is the CG on that movie was shit.
Oh yeah, I like that one grenade launcher sequence.
The grenade launcher sequence looked like Call of Duty 3.
It was so terrible. But like when practical effects were used, it was good. Or the part with the sniper sequence.
Or any practical effect that involved someone dying works pretty well.
Yeah. But like the CG was awful. But I'm still like, it just came back to my mind how like Henry was holding up the dude and he gets shot in the head with a sniper rifle. That was like the first instance of,
holy shit.
And it just got up and up from there.
Oh my god.
Like literally, the top of his head came clean off.
Not the top of his head. There was about a U shape from one eyebrow to the next, all the way down to the
like the lower jaw was about the only stuff that was left. Oh. Damn. My opinion turned a complete 180.
Yeah.
Complete 180. Oh yeah, I remember I was going to talk about my grandpa.
Yeah, grandpa's story time.
But that pales in comparison to Hardcore Henry.
Oh well.
Okay, well, as I was saying in part A, my grandpa lives in the backwoods of Michigan.
Yes.
And he didn't live with a door on his, like, calling it a house is too good. It was a shack. He lived in a shack, and he survived like 2, I think, winters with like a plywood thing in front of it. Like, it was a quote-unquote door, but it was
a piece of wood that he found.
Yeah, it wasn't even like good wood. It was like that really shitty composite wood you find at Home Depot for like $2 for a 10x10 sheet.
Yeah.
And dude's on oxygen too. He has the poo-poo cancer. So he shits into a bag. He's on oxygen.
Still smokes.
He still smokes. Last time I went there was about 3 years ago to a family cookout, and motherfucker was still smoking while on oxygen. I'm afraid I was going to explode the whole time I was there. Just boom! Everyone's dead. Thanks, Grandpa.
Then you become Hardcore Henry.
Yeah. Then I would. Can you imagine me as Hardcore Henry?
That would be really funny because it was.
Oh, that's fucking lame.
It would be really funny to see because you wouldn't
lanky ass white boy.
You wouldn't be getting like an arm and a leg. You would get squid tentacles. You would become a cephalopod.
Fun fact: cephalopod literally means head foot.
Thank you so much.
But but one of my favorites. I have 2 favorite stories about my grandpa.
Yes.
One was when he was in the army in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
At least I think it must have been the 60s.
This is what you told me about him the first time.
Honestly, I'm not sure if this story is true.
Yeah.
But even then, I like to tell it anyway because it gives you an idea of like the kind of person my grandpa is.
Yeah.
For the record, he also grew marijuana in his backyard with my mom there when she was a kid. I don't know if she ever made her pick the leaves, but marijuana was there.
Yeah.
He smoked the ganja 24/7. But when I think he was stationed in Germany, and he was just a radar guy. He just kind of, I think he had the night shift and he kept an eye on the radar. So Gramps decides to take a hit of LSD, and he just watched the radar go for hours.
While on LSD.
Bloop. Bloop. Just bloop.
While on LSD.
Drool dripping from his mouth. He's just like, man, this is the best TV I've seen in years. But apparently my grandpa is also a huge fan of Rob Zombie, because when I was in Ohio, when I was back home in Ohio about 6 years ago, I think I was still in middle school.
Yeah.
So I must have been at like 13 at the oldest.
Yeah.
And he and I were playing pool because in Ohio, you can't do any sports during the winter besides bowling and pool. So that's what my grandpa's good at. Bowling and pool.
Yeah.
So he's schooling my ass in pool. And so he's schooling my ass in pool. And we decided to put on some Rob Zombie live concert DVDs because fuck it, I'm 13. I don't care. I want to seem cool. That license plate says Wah Guru. Okay. I feel that way because I am a massive fan of the Waluigi's. That went on a weird tangent. But yeah, we put on some Rob Zombie DVDs, and I think Gramps was smoking. This is before he had the colonoscopy bag and the oxygen tank. So he was walking around. Colostomy bag, my bad.
Colonoscopy bag.
Yeah, he didn't have a camera shoved up his butt. But he had the colostomy bag in. Is this? Okay, good. It's still recording.
Yep.
But so I think he was shirtless as well. So I saw his old man belly. But he wasn't the fat where like his entire body was fat. He just had like a beer belly, and you could see his rib cage, and everything was kind of hairy, and he had a beard that was down to his nuts. And
so your grandfather is essentially Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top.
If I knew who that was, yes.
That's the beard man from ZZ Top.
They're all bearded men.
Yeah, no, there are 2 bearded men.
Oh, whatever.
The drummer doesn't have a beard.
Whatever. It fucking weirds me out how they can spin their guitars like that, though. They're fucking... That's black magic. But I digress. So we're watching Rob Zombie DVDs, and as happens at concerts, a girl flashes the camera, right?
Yep.
But it's censored.
Yeah.
And my grandpa just drops his pool stick and goes, "Why the fuck are they censoring the good parts?" And 13-year-old me is like, titties.
Are you kidding me? You were just happy to see flesh under a censor bar.
Yeah, that was, I think that was also the age where I was whacking it to Verizon at the time. They had wallpapers you could buy that were naked, and you could like kind of see a nipple on them, but with my flip phone, with as horrible the resolution was, I kind of had to like think about it. So I didn't buy the wallpaper because I know my parents would find out.
Yep. So
instead, I just accessed the store repeatedly to see the preview image, which is even smaller than it would have been on the full screen. So 13-year-old me is slapping his dick to, I think it was a black chick too, slapping his dick to this 4 pixel by 4 pixel naked lady on his phone, racking up a data charge pre-2010. So my parents, when they found out, were pissed and wondering what I was doing. So I told him, I was like, oh, I was listening to music. That was a lie. I'm sorry, Mom, if you ever listen to this. And yeah. Nope, kids, if you're listening, be thankful, because you can beat your meat and like have it in HD wherever you go.
Oh man,
it's a glorious time we live in.
That is amazing.
I'm sure by the time that my dad was growing up, he would have had the internet, but it was like a 5K modem or whatever the smallest modem was. It goes, it sounds like it's having a seizure every time you try to pull up pictures of titties. And not even like the good kind of titties, the kind that are like sagging real bad, because like they're girls getting naked on the internet, and that wasn't really a thing then. So they were like, hey, why not? We'll just put some pictures, make it really shitty resolutions. We'll take a picture of a picture and upload that, because that's fine. Okay, why the fuck am I doing this?
Oh, okay. I had a story related to one thing you were talking about.
But before you start that, okay, I have a proposition for you, Quintin.
Yes.
I need to start a band, right?
Yep.
And we're going, the genre is going to be techno retro porno chiptune music.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And we're going to call it 8-Tit.
Okay.
And the first album is going to be called parentheses, period, a capital Y, period, parentheses.
Yes. So it looks like boobies.
It looks like the big old titties.
Yep.
But in text form.
Yep.
And that's why they can't censor us, because it's not actual titties.
God damn it.
So that's my proposal to you.
Yeah.
Do you say yes? We do this. Okay, good.
I guess so. Why not?
Because you're going to be the entire band, and I'm going to be the marketing and the manager and the album designer and all that shit.
Here's the thing is, we're going to be like the next Nirvana like that, because Nirvana had Nevermind, where they had the little baby pee-pee. They had to put the stickers over in the store. So that we're going to be the next Nirvana, clearly, because we're making boobies with symbols on
Just like Mark Watney.
Just like Mark Watney, exactly.
What you were saying.
But so I actually have a story related to your what?
Beating the meat?
No, not that. Well, I have multiple stories related to that.
Shaking hands with the one-eyed snake?
I can either start with talking about that or start with talking about Rob Zombie. Which one?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with Rob Zombie because that was the one I thought of first. So you got interested. So you were watching Rob Zombie with your grandfather while playing pool. What grade were you in at this time?
I must have been. It was before high school.
13. So
I was probably 8th grade, I think.
That's either 7th. No. Yeah. That's 7th or 6th grade, somewhere around there. I believe. So when I was in 8th grade, my dad took me to a Rob Zombie concert.
Oh God.
Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper in the same concert, and that was a very different experience for me, to say the least, because first of all, my only experience with seeing nudity with my father was we had gone to first of all, we'd see some in movies, and he would tell me to close my eyes, and I would be like, okay. But we go to this concert, and my dad, in one of the things that they show on the screen during Rob Zombie's part is werewolf Nazis from outer space, if I'm correct. And it was Rob Zombie's wife and about 4 other women just in Nazi uniforms showing their upper sections with no clothes on. And I was very confused. And
Quintin, we're adults. You can say fun bags.
In addition to that, there are 2 other parts of this concert that had me very confused. Is number 1...
Your boner.
No. Well, yes, that, but number 1 is...
2, your boober.
Number 1 is...
3, your shaft.
God damn it. But so
4,
Shut up, damn it.
4 and 5, both your balls.
But so number 1 is I'm sitting there at the concert, and in one of his songs, the chorus of the song is rock motherfucker, rock motherfucker. And when he was doing this song, he was like, okay, all the guys or all the women in the audience, when I say this, you guys say rock, and everyone's like, rock, 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 and me and my dad are just sitting there, and then he's like, and all the guys in the audience, when I say this, you guys say motherfucker, and my dad starts saying it, and he just looks at me, and he starts like pointing to me, and I'm like, am I supposed to, I don't know, I didn't even swear in front of my friends at this point. I didn't swear at all. I would say damn it sometimes, but that's it. I never said the big old F word, and in front of my father, my dad's just pointing at me, telling me to say it, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do here, so I'm just not gonna say it, put my hands between my legs, and just kind of sit here. But the most confusing part of this concert for me was it was a Halloween concert. So it was like the week before Halloween. So all these people showed up in costume and all this kind of stuff. And
it's a Rob Zombie, so it's going to be like wicked ass costumes.
It was a bunch of weird costumes. But one thing that happened is this lady was in a bikini or underwear, whichever one, I don't know. They looked the fucking same to me, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm sitting there, and my dad at the time wanted to take pictures of me with everything, so he had me take a picture with her, and she like leaned over and like quote unquote kissed me on the cheek. That didn't happen, but oh my god, I'm sitting there walking around, and my dad goes into the to sit down, and he said, and I was waiting in line to get like water or something, waiting in line to get a drink. I look over, turns out she's a stripper. Her and one of her friends had a giant pole over in the back corner of the room, and they were dancing for the men's, and I just kind of stood there, and I was like, I've never seen this before, but I like this.
Did I get herpes? Is this how you get herpes?
I seriously thought that I got an STD after that. I was like, she kissed me on the cheek. I'm gonna have to cut off a penis now.
Speaking of strip clubs, though, I think my grandpa, he was having a conversation with, this is the same grandpa, by the way, not a different one.
Yes.
He was having a conversation with my mom, and he says, because my mom's a nurse, so she's basically in charge of like telling him what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
Still won't quit smoking, but you know, she's given up on that.
Yep.
And so my grandpa says, as long as you keep me alive for 2 more years, I'll be happy. And then both my mom and I went, it's because you want to take Brett out to a booby bar, isn't it? He's like, yep. I'm like, thanks, Grandpa. I want to go to Michigan to see some titties with you. I'm going to get fucking wasted with my gramps who shits into a bag and is on oxygen.
Oh, that's for when you're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you could get into those when you were 18.
Yeah, I know, but he wants to get wasted as well.
Oh, okay.
He wants to get me wasted and slap around some big old sandbags.
Oh my god. For those listening, I would very much like it if you could go back into the beginning of this episode, both part 1 and part 2, and count how many different words Brett uses to describe both boobs and the penis. Please, just count how many different words he uses, and I would very much like to see a tally on that. I don't know if there's a comment section on SoundCloud, but I would very much like to see a tally on that, and because I'm not going to listen to this again. I've already experienced this and lost
Let's see. Tallywhacker.
No, you can't count it yourself. Yeah. They have to count it.
I didn't use Tallywhacker yet. That was the first one.
Well, good. You just use it. So that's chalk one up for Brett's dick board or whatever the fuck it's going to be called.
You know that a dick in a hand is worth 2 in the face?
What?
I made that up.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
It's a play on a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
I know that.
However, a dick in the hand is worth less than a dick in the bush.
What? Okay.
I'm talking about putting it in the cooter.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Oh. You gotta toss the hot dog into the Velvet Love Tunnel sometimes, Quintin.
Jesus motherfucker, you just said Velvet Love Tunnel.
Why, you don't like the squish mitten?
Okay, now you have to tally up how many different words he also uses for the vagine.
Oh man, am I tired? And I'm looking forward to a goddamn burger. I've only eaten one today. I need to have my
At
second.
least you had a damn burger. I had eggs when I woke up, and I had 4 oranges and a goddamn order of fucking French fries at the Draft House. That's all I've eaten today. And I worked from 9 o'clock until like 6:30.
I was in Weeb Orchestra from 1 to 5.
Fuck that shit.
I played 3 songs out of 13.
And then you read Justice League for the rest.
Yeah, literally, I just sat there reading Justice League, and I was like, cool, fish people.
Fish
awesome.
People. Yes. Oh.
Hey, I'm averaging 41 miles to the gallon. That's not bad.
Congratulations.
Considering this car barely gets 29 on a good day. Oh yeah, you need to show me that camera rig when we get to Steak and Shake too. Yeah. Or you can show me the next red light.
But what I was gonna do is I was gonna read that thing.
Oh yes.
Okay.
We have a dramatic live reading for you folks listening at home.
So considering we just saw Hardcore Henry,
this is pretty damn applicable.
I thought this is pretty applicable considering it is also very hardcore. It is personally one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Is it up there with quantum shitting into the nth dimension?
I love that picture so much. I have considered making it my background. I need to find it.
For those not in the loop, quantum shitting into the nth dimension refers to a picture Quintin found on, was it Reddit? Or was it 4chan?
Reddit.
Okay. But I think it's a Tumblr screenshot.
Yeah.
Where it's a picture of a small child, like 2 years old, sitting on a training toilet, and he's like all scorch distracted. Like it has like a table for eating. It's a training toilet, so it's like one of those toilets that doesn't flush. It has just kind of shit into a bucket, but it's a kid, so it's okay. And the kid is like has his pants all the way on, and like the comments are like, why is he wearing pants? And because it looks like he's sitting on a spaceship. People commented, he's quantum shitting into the nth dimension.
Exactly. Hold on. Maybe I can find that one too and read exactly what it said. But I need to find...
If you just search 5-hour energy big gulp on Google, it'll be like the first image.
I'm gonna just go through my pictures because I am lazy.
I still need to show you that Waluigi folder on my phone.
You can do that
because I restructured my entire phone and I organized all my pictures into discrete folders. Some of which include spiders and bees.
Okay.
Paul Blart, expand dog, Waluigi, me as fuck. Anyway, here's the dramatic
here's the review. So first of all, this is a review for 5-Hour Energy on Amazon. It has 2 stars and it's just titled Moderation. So I'm gonna start this, and I'd suggest turning down your headphones because it is in all caps, so I have to scream some. So. This man says, and I quote, "Whatever you do, do not fill up a super big gulp cup with 5-Hour Energy and chug the whole thing. My heart has either stopped completely or is beating so fast that I can't feel my own pulse. Cons, I haven't slept in 72 hours, I can't feel my face, and I peed this morning, and I'm pretty sure it was 99% blood. Pros, I've deep cleaned my entire apartment, and I can read fucking minds. Super big gulp equals 44 ounce. 5-Hour Energy equals 2 ounce. That means I drank 22 5-Hour Energies in less than 2 minutes. 22 times 5, 110 hours of energy. God help me.
Oh, I fucking love that. Oh, do you still have the review for the accommodator?
What's the accommodator?
The accommodator was a dildo you put on your face.
No.
So, instead of a chin, you just have a giant knocker coming out.
Did I send it to you?
No, I sent it to you. Because the dude said he found it very useful for putting donuts on when he had his hands full. He was riding the elevator, people were looking at him weird until he started putting donuts on. It's like, oh yeah, cool.
Let me go through your messages and see if
I sent it to you years ago, dude.
Okay, never mind.
It wasn't recent. I'll tell you that.
Never mind. But, oh man. Okay, so to finalize our Hardcore Henry review, since we're almost to where we're gonna go have food, is I would say that it's a good movie, but one thing that I wanted to do is I want to give you recommendations for if you like that movie.
Yeah.
Something else that you could enjoy. And I know one of them because when it comes to action movies like that, Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the greatest people for any of those kind of movies. So watch Predator, watch what my personal favorite action movie is, besides what we just saw, is called The Running Man. It is a movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he goes on this game show in the future, and it's like the Hunger Games, but more badass because it has Arnold Schwarzenegger and a bunch of old bodybuilders from like the 1970s, or no, 1980s. I think it was made in the 90s, but I can't remember. But The Running Man, if you like Hardcore Henry, watch that because it has just the same amount of absurd, stupid violence, but it is a little bit more forgivable because it's from like the 90s. I mean, for God's sakes, there's a man that his name is like, there's a Japanese man who his way to kill people is he skates on ice and has a...
I thought that was Arnold's thing.
No, and he has a sharpened hockey stick that he cuts people's heads off. Yeah.
Why?
Because it was the 90s and they could.
I can't remember which side.
It's on.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But yeah, so I don't know. Go watch that movie. Go see Hardcore Henry because it'll need the money. It's an indie movie.
Oh yeah.
It'll need the money.
If you want to satiate your bloodlust, which we all need to do from time to time, watch that movie. It'll be worth the $10.
It was complete. Well, yeah, $10 or however.
Depends on the theater.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like in general, it's about the price of a movie ticket.
Yeah. Go give them your money. It's well worth it.
Oh, it's better than most other movies out right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'm just surprised it topped Deadpool in terms of violence. That was great.
It's burger time now.
It's burger time. All right, folks. Time to draw to a close. Like we said before, you can hit us up on YouTube at Draft House Drive. You can follow us on Twitter at drafthouse_drive. You can, or is that our Instagram handle? Either way.
Instagram is drafthouse_drive.
Okay, in that case, our Twitter is at Draft House Drive, just straight through. Just like no spaces, no nothing. And just be sure to
tune in for the next episode. There won't be an episode next week. I highly doubt there will be.
There may be another bonus episode that we had to fuck around again.
Yeah, maybe, but
those are always random.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune in next time for a special guest as we go to see The Evil Dead.
Army of Darkness, dumbass.
Evil Dead 3, whatever. It's close enough. Peace, boys.